Good morning, everybody. So yes, we are going to be discussing directions this year and what happened when we went there. So let's get this to work. What is Directions and why is it important to you? So Directions is a conference that happens every year where we invite or where the partners are invited to attend from across Europe. I think this year we had almost 4,000 partners, ISVs and Microsoft people there whilst we were there. It is sponsored by Microsoft, which means that we do get a lot of the information directly off of them as well throughout the process. So we do get to know the nitty gritty about what they're doing. And it focuses around Business Central and its kind of integrated solutions, the 365 platform and Azure as well. We get to know a little bit about the roadmap, about what Microsoft are doing, what's happening with Business Central. And we also get to speak to the really important MVPs, the third-party application makers and everybody else as well. So by the end of it, we have a lot of information to send out, and that's why we kind of do these sessions so we can let you know. Just so you know, there was a lot of information. I'm only going to recap some of the important bits on this. We will be sending out more information as we get it as well, so please look out for that. So what did we learn? For those of you that have joined some of my other Find Out More Fridays, you will know that I have spoken about AI and Business Central Copilot quite a lot, and from kind of everybody's opinion at the conference is AI was the biggest kind of output from that conference. What they're doing with it, how it's going to affect you, and kind of what it's going to become as part of Business Central and of the wider 365 environment as well. So we'll go into that. There'll be a lot of AI chat today. One of the interesting things actually that I learned actually while I was there is that AI is not a robot sent back from the future to kill Sarah Connor. It's actually split into a number of different kind of sections around how it fits together. So you have language modules, you have production modules, which we'll see a bit about later in Business Central, speak recognition, so translations as well. And then everybody knows the image generators, and I'm sure you've had some fun with that as well. And the way it kind of works in Business Central is it brings together one or more of these elements to kind of produce something in the system. So again, for those of you that were on my previous sessions, you would have seen the item marketing information Copilot, which allows you to generate marketing information based on your attributes, your pictures that you have in the system. Now, what Microsoft are doing with this is expanding it as it goes forward. So we've got better input onto the system, additional languages. I think they've added an extra 7 languages on there now. So for anybody who has French customers or parts of the business in France, Germany, Spain, all those, you can now write it up in English and translate it across to them. And it does a pretty good job of putting it in the right order for when the words come out. You can change the tone of the information. So if you want something to be a little bit happier, you can change that with a button. And you can also change the emphasis on there. So if you want it to be kind of more casual, a bit more upbeat, a bit more creative, you can do that as well. And as I say, it's one of those things that's going to keep on expanding and getting better as you go. They're adding languages. I think at the moment on every release they have every month. Bank reconciliation as well is coming in and using Copilot. So we all know when you use a bank reconciliation in Business Central, it does some auto matching for you. They're now bringing in the ability to use Copilot when it recognizes the field. So if you can see the image that I've got on the screen there, what it will do is it will show you what it's matched as standard, and then what Copilot thinks you can match, and that goes beyond the standard value per value matching, and it will try and kind of bring entries together, see if they match totals, and then provide you with a list of what you could match, and then it's completely up to you whether you accept that or not. What it will also do is suggest accounts that things need to be posted to, and you get the ability to save that. So it's actively learning as you're going through the process. Next time you go to import a bank statement, you won't need to do it again. This one was one of the more interesting ones for me. This is one of the Copilot features that are going to come out soon. And that's the ability to create jobs using Copilot. So when you hit the jobs page on the system, instead of going to go new and then you have to fill out all the information yourself, what you can do is run a describe to Copilot function. You can tell Copilot what you want the job to do, and it's going to then do its best to generate the lines that you have on there for you. Again, it's self-learning. You can say this was wrong, this was right, and accept it to create your job for you, and it will do the heavy lifting. Beyond that, once you have the job in there as well, you can also ask Copilot to generate your resources for that job for you. So again, you don't have to go through and do that. One of the kind of big things that came out of what Microsoft are telling us about Copilot is it's definitely there to help you. It's not there to take over your job. I think they spent a lot of time trying to work out the right name for it, and Copilot ended up being the way they went because it's supposed to be that person beside you helping you, drive the plane. And then I'd say finally on the Copilot side, but there will be more of it later on here as well. Copilot chat. So a lot of you will have seen the chat features that are now available in your browsers, where you can ask questions and move forward. They are looking to integrate that into Business Central as well. So you'll have an icon in the top right hand of the corner, like you have at the moment with the settings, where you'll be able to come and ask questions. The example we have on the screen there is, what if I want to see all my quotes for Alpine, or the way it's going to develop, you'll be able to ask it questions. How do I do this? How do I create a sales order? How do I create a customer? And it's going to give you the information you need to step by step run through that. Again, this is going to expand as you go forward, as it learns, as the language model progresses, it's going to become much more useful, and you never know, it might stop you raising a few support tickets at the same time. It's going to be able to help you move forward. So that's the end of my AI chat for now. Let's move on to what Microsoft are doing in the latest release and what we've learned. So what you should see on your screen is just a brief overview of kind of the investment areas that Microsoft have pushed into Business Central. There you go, second on the screen again, AI. A lot of investment is going into AI, and that's going to go further and further. Not only from kind of a customer point of view, from your point of view as a business as well, they are actually integrating it to help the partners as well. So they've integrated Copilot into our development tools, which should mean that when we have to make an enhancement for you, it can happen a lot quicker. We get the assistance of them. It does part of the coding for us. Lots of investment around reporting. And kind of as we will go through and have a look at some of the updates that they're doing, you'll also see that it's a lot around usability for you guys and making it easier to work through the system, to deal with issues and errors, and just making it in general a lot easier for you to work with. So what are the key points of the updates? Again, for those of you that have been on my Find Out More Fridays before, you will know that I did do a brief overview of what the updates are. We're just going to quickly run through some of those again and some of the things that we learned from Directions. So better multi-company consolidation. You now have the ability to link your Business Central environment to not only other companies within that environment, but actually Business Central environments on different tenants. So again, if you have a company who's running a German environment, you could consolidate to that environment as well. E-document automation, that's going to be I think one of the bigger points that's going to impact a lot of our customers moving forward as well. So that's the ability to electronically send and receive documents from your suppliers, from your customers, without having to press the print send, get the PDF and go across. It uses an online service and links directly into them. So you kind of miss out the middleman. You know the information that's going there is secure. You know that it's going to be correct. And you'll be able to kind of take a look and see when it was sent, and you'll have the log to say, look, that was there, that was then. We know you received it because we have this tick box that says you received it. No more, I didn't receive my invoice, I can't pay you. They're making the warehouse part of Business Central more efficient for you. One of the most common errors that you get in the system, especially when you're working with inventory, is we have nothing to handle. We can't post your document. There's nothing that we can do. That gave you absolutely no information whatsoever. And then you have to come to us and go, well, why is that? They're making it easier for you to self-serve when it comes to that. So they now give you a breakdown of where is that item? Why is it that I can't use it? Is it because it's reserved on a different document? Is it because it's being used somewhere else? And now you should get that explanation that allows you to go through and change what you need to change to move forward. Configuring how the warehouse works internally. You can now make changes to that. I'm just going to quickly pull up my screen. There we go. So now on your locations in the system, you have the ability to adjust your internal processing to work differently to how you would on your incoming and outgoing documents. So production, assembly and jobs have all been added to change the way that things are handling, whether you need to pick, whether you need to do an inventory pick, anything like that information is now set on the location cards. And again, if you need a further demonstration of this, we can go into that for you. Oh, I've lost my PowerPoint slide. Let's find it again. There we go. Power Automate improvements. So we'll cover this a little bit in a minute anyway, but for those of you that are using Power Automate to create flows and make changes in your business, they've improved that. They're making it more accessible for you. They've added more templates so you can get going without having to start them from scratch. And again, they're implementing AI into that process. So one of the demonstrations we had is you receive an email from a customer that says, I have an urgent order. Your AI is going to be able to generate that, create a flow that then pulls that into Business Central, gets the information that you need, and then it goes across to somebody to approve and move forward. So all nice things that are coming in again to make your life a little bit easier. Mobile app updates. So again, something we covered in one of the previous sessions, but just to go back into that. So you can now do barcode scanning from your devices, from the mobile app, and that uses the camera on your machine, on your device as well. You've got better search functionality in there now. So the search, as you have in your main Business Central, has been added into there. And it has the tell me search capabilities on there as well. So for those of you that don't know what that is, if I wanted to search for information, you have a search company data point down here. You don't have to click that. If I just pressed return, it would know that I'm wanting to do that. And that gives you the ability to look into the system and find out everywhere where something might be referenced. And then you can go to there pretty quickly. So yes, searching company data there. Analyzing data from within Business Central. So this is one of the ones we've covered a few times. It was the update that was supposed to happen in the last release, has now been released in our latest version. And it gives you ability to kind of analyze your data from within any list in Business Central. So anywhere, your item list, your order list, anything like that, you can come across, you can set different analysis views of what you've got. one of the ones we get a lot of the time is, can I see my ships not invoiced or received not invoiced documents? You can do that yourself from your own view. You can then share that view to somebody else so that they have that set for you. Power Platform, again, Power Platform is expanding at a astronomical rate at the moment. There's more and more you can do with Power BI. They're bringing in a solution called Microsoft Fabrics now, which is a collection of Power BI of a kind of a warehouse management. I call it a data lake as well, which allows you to build your reports, but on data from lots of different areas as well. So watch out for that. We'll be sending some information out about that soon as well. Power Apps are improving. Power Automate, as we've discussed, are improving as well. Power Virtual Agents, again, it's AI. It's the ability to have chatbots within your apps and your systems, so that can do the heavy lifting for you. And Power Pages. Now, Power Pages was probably one of the most interesting ones for me. It's the ability for you to create your own websites, B2B websites within the Power platform. So again, if we quickly pop over here and just see, this is an example, very basic example of what you can do in there. You can set your pages, you can set it to link back to Business Central to create your orders. You can then get logins for your customers so they can manage their information as well. I think once this comes in and gets up and running, it's going to be one of the big things that's going to make it easier for you. It may be you get to the point where you don't have to get your own web developers in to do it. You can do something using this. And then finally, because I've done a lot of talking, sustainability is coming. So the need for you to keep account of your emissions, to know what your kind of environmental footprint is within Business Central is coming. And that's not just from what you're outputting, it's also what comes in, knowing kind of how much the emission of the trucks come, how long is the life cycle of your products, what happens to your products when they run out of life cycle, how are they being environmentally taken away. It's all that information is something that's going to start coming into Business Central. I believe they've got some legislation that's going to be coming in the next couple of years that means it's going to become mandatory for you to do so. Continia, who a lot of you might know, who do the document capture and expense management solutions, are trying to get ahead of the game on this one, and they are introducing continuous sustainability. Now, there is a website link on the PowerPoint that you will get that will give you a very nice marketing video about how that works, but it's all about capturing that information and being able to report on it on Business Central, knowing how much emissions it took to get the product to you, how much it did to get it to your customer, and making sure that you keep track of that properly, and I stay up to date with that legislation as well. And I couldn't finish off with a slide without coming back to AI as well. Continue are introducing Copilot into their expense management and document capture solutions as well to make things easier for you. So if you bring in a document using document capture, not only will it go through the standard recognition now, but you can also use Copilot to recognize it straight away. For those of you that do it, so it's quite a big setup to get the template set up for you, and that's becoming easier and quicker, and the more it learns, the easier it's going to be for you as well. So as I say, AI is here. It's not coming, it's here, and it's only going to expand more and more. Microsoft are continuing invested in trying to make the system more friendly for you, more intuitive, making it easier, and they're definitely going to keep going with the Power Platform, making sure that you can integrate with all your other Microsoft products and products outside of that as well. And sustainability is coming, so watch out for that one as well. That was a very quick, very brief overview of what we learned at Directions. There is definitely more that we're going to be sharing out for you, so please look out for that.